All right, here we go. 30-day Design Your Life Challenge, brought to you by the Carter Hughes Knowledge Institute.com. www.carterhughesknowledgeinstitute.com. At this point in your power statement, right? It was day 19, so we were like 2/3 of the way done. The power statement itself is pretty much finished. All right, and since you made it this far, congratulations. I would assume things are looking a little different for you now, right? The obstacles are looking more like opportunities. Remember to take this information and act, right? That's what all this is about. Knowledge unapplied is not very useful, all right? So let's apply this knowledge. Try these things out. See if they work, right? Let's see if these things work, right? Day 19, the power of words, all right? This one obviously is my favorite, my personal favorite one. The power of words. Words are extremely powerful. For me, since my beginning, I was affected by words. My family's history, my grandfather was a plumber for 30, 40 years, right? Provided for us about 15 of us at one time, in my grandparents' home. And and he couldn't read, right? My grandfather couldn't read, provided for us, did all these things for his family, but didn't have the skill of reading, right? So my mother, I'm not sure if she was looking at it this way, but she made sure that I personally had that skill, right? She was reading to me, once again, while I was in her stomach, before she was giving birth to me, she was reading to me. So I came out, and and I enjoyed reading pretty early on. Words affected me pretty early on. And they help me to understand. Words can help us understand, right? That's a big one for me. And I was drawn to the words. I was drawn to the words early on. In kindergarten, story goes, I got in trouble in school. Teacher went to my mom. My mom was working at the school at the time. Teacher went to my mother, hey, your son is not listening to us. We tell them to go into the centers, and he's not going into the centers. So my mom is like, well, what is he doing? The teacher's like, well, we have toys in the center for the kids to play with. We tell the kids to go into the center to play with the toys, and your son just wants to sit at his desk and read, right? So that was a problem. So my mom, of course, why not just put books in the center? But I guess that teacher was probably just more focused on somebody obeying what they told them to do, right? As opposed to looking at the big picture. What's best for this child, right? Does what this child is doing right now, does that help the child? If so, then yeah, get creative. Okay, the child wants to sit here and do this. Why not put whatever they want to do into the center, right? But it requires some creativity that that person didn't want to tap into at the time. So but yeah, and then also me being courageous enough to understand, like, I mean, I'm 5. You people are taller than me and stuff, but I think I'm a read. I think reading is the best is the best choice. So shout out to 5-year-old me for having that courage, right? Having the courage to do, what I know is the best thing, even if it's not popular, even if standardized society is saying no, you gotta, okay, right? But if I'm doing something that's helping me, it is what it is. I would take the whatever trouble comes with that. Uh, so I go on, right? Words, use words all throughout my life, of course. Use them for bad for a good amount of time. Like to take things, to get things from people. And then as I got older, I began to now, I would say probably the past 10 to 15 years, use them exclusively, for good. Using the words for good. And when I was kicked out of school, right, at 18 years old, going to college, and I was smoking in my room, right? Smoking weed in my room. That's what I was doing to get kicked out of college. 22 years ago now, yeah. And then when they came to me and asked me, it was me, 2 other people. And they came to me and asked me, so were you smoking in the room, right? Of course, I told them yes. I told the truth in that moment. The other two cats didn't. Were they smoking? I don't know, man. I was pretty smoked out. But so I believe they stayed in school. But me, I got kicked out of school, and that's how it happened. But even then, I'm proud of myself. Looking back, proud of myself for telling the truth. Right? I had to go through some. It's been a bumpy ride, but continue to just move forward. Right? And eventually, for me, I bumped into the right set of words. Right? That kind of changed everything for me. Right? The proper arrangement of words in the appropriate sequence, right? That kind of sparked something in me. It unlocked me essentially. Uh, so that's what we try to do with these words: pass them along, pass them along, pass them along to help people, right? That's the choice with words. Words are somewhat like fire, right? Like fire. With fire, you can warm the house up, right? With fire, you can cook the meals, right? To keep your family full, keep your family comforted, keep them warm, right? But with that same fire, right, you could burn the house down. You could burn the neighborhood down, right? Words could destroy your family, all right? We've seen that in life. Words can divide a nation, right? You can take words and turn them into categories that you put people into, right? So words are very powerful. So we're asking that, we try to use our words for good. Use our words to build, not to destroy, right? Use our words to encourage, not to discourage, right? Use our words to be gracious with people, not to be overly judgmental, right? Give some good advice, yes. Give suggestions, yes. Uh, but you never hold anyone to a higher standard than you hold yourself, right? That's a big one as well. If you're going to be holding people to high standards so you can be critical of them, fine, as long as you're holding yourself to that same high standard, right? When you're hard on yourself, that makes life easy for you. When you're easy on yourself, that can make life hard for you. All right. So once again, every day, we want to make sure we're getting some value out of this thing, and a big part of that is using our words. Hey, words can change everything, right? We all are just a manifestation of the words that we've heard up to this point. Right? So let's make sure we get around good words. Make sure we stay around good words. Make sure we give out good words, right? We understand there are situations where you got bad words around you, right? Bad people doing bad things and saying bad words to you. That's a reality. Um, in those situations, we ask that you stay faithful, right? We ask that you understand, once again, when people are mean, it's normally because they don't have a good feeling of themselves, a good view of themselves, right? They're mean to themselves. People who project mean words outside also, unfortunately, are projecting mean words inside, right? You talk to the world how you talk to yourself, right? So those mean people spewing that, they're doing the same to themselves. So we got to keep that in mind, right? Not all of us have the courage to really break those cycles, right? Sometimes we get, they say strong people make good times make weak people make bad times, and bad times make strong people. That's the cycle of it, right? So we got to be strong, stay strong in those situations when you're around those bad words, right? That are trying to keep you down, right? Folks are disappointed in themselves, so they're trying to drag you down. You'll never find a person who is satisfied in themselves but trying to drag other people down. It don't work like that. Right? So, once again, understanding everybody is telling you who they are. Right? People are screaming it who they truly are, right? So just pay attention. That's all. And let's be positive. Let's be lights of warmth with our words, right? And if you're in that bad spot, remember the story of Joseph, right? Joseph in the Bible, good person, useful person, helpful person, right? And what normally happens when you're useful, you're helpful, you will find favor in life forever. That's the reality of it. When you help people, people will always pull you up for the rest of your life if you continue to be useful and helpful to people, right? From a place of service, identifying what is my talent, how can I use it in a way that pleases the creator and serves other people, right? That's kind of the basic formula. Joseph, people got jealous of him, right? His brothers, he had 11 brothers, they got jealous. Sold him into slavery, right? When you're doing well, doing the right things, yes, people will come to destroy you. Right? So Joseph had a choice. Should I compromise my morals and start acting like them because it looks like they're winning because they're doing the mean stuff, or do I continue to be useful, helpful, use my words for good, right? Which he did. Eventually, he rose up in the ranks of the slaves or the servants or whatever. He eventually became advisor to the king, and then ultimately became ruler over his brothers that were jealous and resentful, right? So, hey, don't give up. Remember the story of Joseph, right? Remain faithful. Life will see to it, right, that you get what you deserve. So stay faithful, continue to help people, continue to be useful, and eventually you will rise to rule over all those who tried to keep you down. All right, so stay on that path. Right, some people are not strong enough to break the cycle, and we understand that. All right, but that's our choice. Use our words for good, huh? Use your words for good. You'd be amazed at the things you can inspire people to become with your words. Think about it. Right? You'd be amazed, right? I know I've seen people blossom into amazing things based off encouraging words that allow them to tap into their own creativity, right? That's important. For me, words change my entire life. If I hadn't bumped into those words, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know what would be happening right now. Don't know. What I do know is right now, I probably every day you see me will be the best day of my life, right? From now for the next 80 or 79, however much, will be the best day of my life because I understand what I'm doing. Using my words to help people, I will do that for the rest of my life, right? And that will allow me to, do as I please, as long as I continue to refine, continue to practice, do the presentations, the in-person, online, whatever. Let's get the reps up. Right? Let's get the reps up. Let's spread this message because it positively affects people. Right? I've used my words for bad before. Things happen. That's okay. Life is a journey. So I wasn't always the person I am now. Right? But right now I am that person. So use your words for good. I'm over 2.5. Sorry about the. This was long. Use your words for good. Words is my favorite though. So day 19, right? Today, let's make sure we use our words for good. Use your words for good. Inspire, encourage your people, and watch what they blossom into, right? All they've ever wanted was for you to encourage them. That's all. Starts with yourself, right? Get yourself right with your words, and then spread that throughout the world, all right? We're dependent on you, baby. We need you, all right? You specifically, we need you. All right? Have a beautiful day, man. Day 19. See you tomorrow.